We're doing a tier list today. Honestly, when I look at the pile of products in front of me, I think most of them are overrated, but if you have not seen my tier list series before, this is the scale that we're going to be using today, and let's honestly just jump right into it. And I have to start with one of the most overrated products. I'm so disappointed to say. The Vacation Sunscreen, you should probably skip. I feel like this brand in general gets so much buzz because their products A, smell really good, but B, are very cute and aesthetic. And don't get me wrong, this looks really great in my beach bag, but this sunscreen pales on me so badly. Like, first application, I'm trying to rub it in and it is just like peeling right off my body, and then I look like I'm dirty or I have like stuff stuck to me because it's not just like a little bit of pilling. It is crumbling off of my arms and legs. I really think the only reason this has gotten so much attention is because it looked really cute in a photograph. And I hate to be dramatic, but I'm gonna put this in the category of they lied to us. Next, we have to talk about the Rhode Glazing Mist, but before we do, a quick word from today's sponsor. I'm excited to say that this video is sponsored by Nurex. If you've watched my content for a while now, you've definitely heard me share my love of tretinoin. I originally started using it in 2021 for my very persistent adult acne, but in addition to helping keep my acne under control, it has completely transformed my skin. Tretinoin really is the gold standard. It treats fine lines, wrinkles, sunspots, uneven skin tone, and is 20 times stronger than over-the-counter retinols. But the biggest question that I get when I talk about tretinoin is how do you get it? And Nurex makes that easy. You fill out an online questionnaire, upload photos of your skin, and then Nurex licensed medical providers will provide a personalized treatment plan just for you. Nurex's team of providers knows that your skin's needs are ever-changing. It will guide you through your skincare journey and can adjust your medication strength to ensure you are getting the most out of your treatments as your skin goals evolve. Tretinoin cream prescription only treats palliation of fine lines. Tretinoin may cause side effects including skin peeling, flaking, and irritation. If you'd like to learn more, see full prescribing information at Nurex.com. You're encouraged to report negative side effects to the FDA. Go to Nurex.com/KELLYG to get started, or click the link in the description. That's Nurx.com/KELLYG. Okay, this mist. So first of all, it's $30, which is a bit higher than I was expecting. And for just being like a facial mist, it's not like a makeup setting spray, it's like a hydrating facial mist. I don't think this is worth your $30. In general, facial mists aren't gonna give you as much bang for your buck as like a serum with active ingredients in it. So if you're really looking to like optimize your skincare routine, I don't think this is like the direction to go. That being said, if you love like a dewy, super hydrated look, yes, this can give you some glow, but I think if you're gonna spend around $30 from Rhode, I would just get the glazing milk. That one gives me great hydration. It's only $2 more than this. I think it's just very talked about because it is Rhode. I'm gonna put this in the category of it's average because by no means is it like a bad facial mist. It will do what most facial mists do. I have drugstore options that work the same, and like this is not the step in your routine that's gonna change your skincare routine. So I honestly think you could skip this. Let's talk about the eyeshadow that I am currently wearing. Okay, this is from Half Magic, and I finally picked this up. This is probably their most popular shade, if not like one of the most popular ones, but in general, these little eyeshadows are well loved. I have the shade Blushing Lizard. In the pan, it looks very purpley blue, but you can see on my eyes, it's not super high impact. Like, yes, it has purple and blue sparkles to it. Actually, let me take that back. It is high impact. Let me reword that. But it's not super colorful. So I feel like this shadow is perfect for someone who mostly wears neutrals, but is looking to step outside their comfort zone a little bit. I mentioned this as one of my recommendations in my recent one and done eyeshadow video. So if you haven't seen that one, I will have it linked below. This is such a beautiful eyeshadow. I do want to call out the packaging though, because I did not realize the packaging was cardboard when I bought it. I know it probably doesn't even look like cardboard on camera, but like this is basically like an egg carton type of texture. It's compostable, which is fantastic, but I do want to call out it's certainly not in your typical packaging, but formula-wise, this is fantastic. So I'm going to put it in the category of worth the hype. Like, this is a really great eyeshadow. It has me curious to try others from the brand. There's like this really pretty greenish gold shade that I've had my eye on as well. Okay, I picked up the Rare Beauty perfume. I just got a mini of this one. I didn't go the full size, though I'm actually pretty impressed with the full size. It retails for $75, which don't get me wrong, $75 is a lot of money, but when you compare it to most full-size perfumes, it's considerably less. This smells so different than I was expecting based on the notes. I was anticipating a very sweet gourmand, especially with that description of like vanilla caramel perfume, and I can smell those notes in this, but there's almost what I would call like kind of a showery quality about this, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but even when I was wearing it the other day, I was like, it kind of smells like when you've just gone to the salon and you've gotten your hair done and they've used some really delicious smelling hair products. Like, it does remind me of a hair product or like a body wash type of scent, and I don't mind that. But it's very different than the like sweet gourmand scent that I was envisioning. So let me start there. The wear time is what I would expect from a $75 perfume. It's definitely not gonna last you the entire day, and the projection's also not gonna like smack you in the face, but I'm certainly not disappointed, you know? So I'm gonna put this in the category of I'm impressed. Like, it's a good perfume, and it's a scent that I feel like would be pretty universally enjoyed. We'll stick with scent because I have another perfume that in my head, these were gonna smell similar, but they do not. So this is new from Ellis Brooklyn, and it's called Queen's Caramel. This also like really calls out those notes of caramel and vanilla, but it is nothing like the Rare Beauty perfume. Like, this is a true gourmand. You have to love a gourmand, okay? You have to be a gourmand obsessed person to like this. Like, it is very, very, very sugary sweet. So if that is a turnoff for you, you should avoid this at all costs because it is like as gourmand as it gets. That being said, if you like that scent profile, I think you would be obsessed with this. It is so sweet. Those caramel notes are so strong. I also find this one wears pretty well. I'm trying to decide if this one is worth the hype or I'm impressed. It has not replaced my other favorites. So I guess even just saying that sentence, I'm gonna put it in I'm impressed. It's very good. If you live for a gourmand, you should definitely go smell this. I have another scent related one, but like, let's switch gears and come back. Let's talk about the lip treatments from Ole Henriksen. I have the orange one. It is like an orange creamsicle dream. And I have to say, I think I like this formula more than the Summer Fridays ones. Those were my top spot for so long until I recently tried this formula and fell in love. I feel like this really finds that balance that not a lot of lip treatments can, where it's not too thin where I feel like it's running and sliding off my lips, but it's also not too globby where I'm feeling it and I'm very aware of it on my lips. Like, it just sits comfortably. Yes, it's a splurge, and I think there are alternatives that will also get the job done, but I'm really happy that I have this. Okay, speaking of a splurge, we have to talk about the Tatcha sunscreen. So this is their silk sunscreen. It is SPF 50, and this is a mineral sunscreen. When I say splurge, I am not kidding. This 1.7 ounce bottle is $64. So right away, I'm already really skeptical that this could get ranked very high because it is just such a high price tag, and so many of my favorite sunscreens sit closer to 20 or sometimes less. And sunscreen, out of all my skincare products, is the category that I'm like flying through. Like, I'm always repurchasing sunscreen. I use those up really quickly. So this is a really steep cost. So it would have to be incredible. And what I will say, it is probably the best mineral sunscreen that I have tried. That being said, I generally don't love mineral sunscreens, but I do think this one is a very cosmetically elegant formula for being a zinc oxide sunscreen. Super, super thin, just runs down the face. It doesn't feel like much on the skin. It's a little bit greasy, but it's not as greasy as a lot of other mineral sunscreens can be. It's not heavy on the skin. I also think foundation and all other makeup steps apply well over top of this. The only thing I don't like about this, outside of the price tag, is the tint. Now, the tint is there to offset the white pigment from the zinc oxide, so it is necessary. However, if you have very, very fair skin, I think you would see this. And then I also think if you have deep skin, you will probably get a white cast from this. We know there's just no world where a universal tint exists. Like, it's not gonna work for everyone. And that being said, the tint on this is like weirdly kind of pink. I tried to like photograph myself wearing this so you could see what I'm talking about. I don't even feel like it is picking up on camera, but yesterday I was at the gym and I was wearing this. I saw myself in the mirror and thought, oh my gosh, I'm so flushed right now. Like, am I okay? And then I realized, oh, it's my sunscreen. With that in mind, I'm really debating between it's average and I'm impressed. Because for a mineral sunscreen, I am impressed, but it's also almost $70. So I have to put it in its average. That being said, if you exclusively wear mineral sunscreen, this could be one to try. Okay, Makeup by Mario relaunched the powder bronzers in a new formula. I have the lightest shade, which is called Light. I will say most of the shades correspond to the cream bronzers except for the light shade. In the cream bronzers, there is a fair, which is the shade that I wear. There is no fair in the powder bronzer, so I wear the shade light. I do think I might like the shade fair better if it existed, but it doesn't. I'll just say I really don't like this. I find it quite patchy. It is talc free, and I think that's probably the culprit there. It is certainly not my favorite powder bronzer. If you're gonna buy a bronzer for Makeup by Mario, like buy the stick bronzer. I think it's fantastic. I'm almost done with mine. I use it every single day. This, I'm gonna put in the category of I don't get it. And it's actually pretty similar for me to this product right here from Tower 28, another talc-free cheek product. And again, kind of the same problem as the Makeup by Mario. I just don't find this as smooth or blendable as a lot of my other blushes. This can look very patchy on me, even though it really describes itself as being a very smoothing formula. Like, that is not my experience. I also have to put this in the category of I do not get it. Okay, this Salt and Stone deodorant, I can't even tell you how excited I was to try this. Deodorant and fragrance kind of merging together is going to be an even bigger trend as we move forward. Not that this is like a brand new product, but we're seeing more and more fragrance brands infuse their scent into deodorant, and in theory, I think it's a really cool concept. So Salt and Stone has corresponding deodorants to all of their scents, and I have what I think is their most popular scent, Santal and Vetiver. It smells so good. If you're familiar with Santal 33, this is very similar. I also have the body wash from Salt and Stone in this scent. The body wash, I love. The deodorant, I hate. Okay, so it's a natural deodorant, which I generally don't like. I just find that most natural deodorants are completely ineffective for me, and they actually go beyond the point of being ineffective, but somehow they mix with my body chemistry and make me smell worse. Some are worse than others. The worst one I tried was the Sol de Janeiro deodorant. I wanted to love it. Never have I smelled worse than when I wear that deodorant. This is right up there though. It smells so good when I first apply it, and like, in theory, I want to be able to have a very perfumed deodorant that like matches the rest of my scents and like layer on this beautiful scent combo. But this does nothing to prevent body odor from me. It only makes me smell worse. And I'm debating, I'm like, do I put it in They Lied to Us, or I don't get it? Because I do think for some people, they probably don't run into this issue and they probably really do enjoy it. So I don't know if they're lying. It just did not work for me. So I had to put this in I don't get it. The very blurred lip look has been popular for a while now, and I have two drugstore, very hyped up ones to rank. So let's start with the most popular of the two. This is the Smushy Lip Balm from NYX. It's a weird name, but I do really enjoy this product. This one is the cheaper one out of the two. This is $9, and the CoverGirl one I'm gonna review next is $12. This is a bizarre texture. Like, it feels like a moussey liquid blush or something. And then it initially looks kind of bad on the lips, and then once you rub it in, it blends itself out and it looks really smooth and diffused and blurred on the lips. But it is also hydrating. It's not gonna be as hydrating as like an actual lip treatment like this, but it's less drying than most lip products would be. So I really like this. I've been wearing it a lot. I'm gonna put it in the category of worth the hype. Next is the CoverGirl version. Obviously different products because this is a solid and this is a liquid. However, the final result is relatively similar between the two, but I would say the CoverGirl is a little bit more blurred out and slightly more matte. I actually prefer the CoverGirl. Yes, it's $3 more, but I really love the look of this. And I like the targeted application that I get with this being in a stick form versus the NYX being a liquid. That being said, I love both. I wear both often and I recommend them, but this one I've been wearing constantly. So I'm gonna put the CoverGirl one in worth the hype. Okay, Merit the Uniform. They call this a tinted sunscreen. I've said in my other reviews, do not rely on this to be your sun protection. Wear this over a sunscreen. I really hate that brands keep coming out with foundations and calling them sunscreens because it is highly unlikely anyone would use enough of this to get sun protection. That being said, if you're using this just as a skin tint or a foundation, I think it's perfectly fine. It's not my favorite, but I don't think it's bad. So considering all that, I have to put this in its average. This is by no means a standout product for me. It's not something I'm continually reaching for. And to be honest, I think it's a little bit overhyped, but it's definitely not a bad product. Okay, this is the super saturated serum from Experiment. I've heard so many people that are just like obsessed with this hydrating serum. It's 30% glycerin, so it's supposed to be just super duper duper hydrating and nourishing. And I'll start off by saying the texture of this is a bit much. It is like kind of sticky, and I find it gets a little messy when I apply it, so that's the only downside I really will say about this, is that it is that like globby sticky texture and it feels a little gross. Outside of that, the performance of this is phenomenal. As someone with very dry and very sensitive skin, when I feel like I need an extra boost of hydration, this is the serum I'm reaching for, and I notice such a big difference when I use this, and then the next day I just feel so like plumped up and hydrated. It's $28. I feel like that's pretty reasonable for how effective this is, so I'm gonna put this in the category of worth the hype. Okay, the Westman Atelier blush sticks. This is right up there with the other pricey products in this video. It retails for $48, so quite a splurge. I do like that you have the magnetic packaging. I do always appreciate that touch. This I didn't think I was going to like, because in a swatch it looks a little bit rough. And yet on the skin, it looks really pretty. In the swatch, it looks like it's going to be super glittery. And don't get me wrong, I do think this shade has some glitter sparkles to it, which I don't necessarily love for $48, but I don't think it looks bad on the skin. That being said, I have a lot of other cream blushes that are pretty similar that are nowhere near $48, so I'm gonna put this in the category of its average. I don't think it's a bad product, but I don't think it stands out against all its competitors that are like half the price. Okay, one from Aestura. This brand recently came into Sephora. This is a K-beauty brand, but this is, I don't know if this is their most popular product, but this is the one I hear the most people talking about. It is their Barrier 365 cream. So this has like little basically beads in it, but they melt into the skin as you rub them in. This is such a great moisturizer when you have a compromised barrier. Like, that is when I'm reaching for this on the nights where I'm like, okay, my skin is upset, I'm grabbing this. The only thing I don't like about this is the packaging. I don't know what it is, and now it's not doing it when I'm trying to show you, but for some reason, let me know if this happens on yours. It doesn't like stay closed half the time, and I'll find it kind of like open in my drawer and I'm like, I swear I closed that. Like, it doesn't want to latch fully. I'm really debating between worth the hype and I'm impressed. It is a fantastic moisturizer. I have some others that are similar, that do a similar thing. The price is good. I'm gonna put it in I'm impressed. Really great moisturizer, especially if you have sensitive skin. I don't think you'll be disappointed by this. Okay, that was my ranking. Let me know down below which products you agree and disagree with. Thank you to Nerks for sponsoring this video, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye.